Hey everybody, Todd Michael Putnam here from D&D Creative Table Designs, bringing you another adventure table idea. And this adventure is inspired by Worlds of Warcraft Nazmir Swamp. Worlds of Warcraft Nazmir Swamp. So Worlds of Warcraft, extremely popular video game, online MMO, and they've had expansion after expansion. And the most recent expansion before Dragonflight, which is still not out yet, there's a place called Nazmir Swamp, and it's filled with blood trolls and all kinds of nasty stuff, and giant frogs and Tyrannosaurus Rexes and all kinds of crazy stuff. So what I wanted to do to try and recreate it was use some of my WizKids tile sets and WizKids battle mat and see what I could do. And what I came up with is I took the WizKids Forest battle mat, two of them actually. These are 5x3s. And that's what it looks like, and it is gridded, by the way. So for those people who like 1-inch grids, it is got a grid built into it. I took that battle mat and I created some ruins just using the WizKids half height and full height dungeon set. I'm sorry, dungeon set. Pardon me. My brain's elsewhere at the moment. So using the half height and the full height dungeon sets. It's able to create sort of like a ruins effect. And basically, because they're all through Nazmir Swamp, there's all kinds of archaic ruins and stuff and half walls and things like that. So, because it's, an ancient civilization that's been long grown over and taken over by the swamp. So what I did was just take, and I'll go up to this building up here is another example, just take some dungeon floor tiles, and then some of their inside walls and things like that, and build up like a second and a third floor using half height and full height tiles just for corners and rounded areas and stuff to build a sort of like an exotic architecture. And then they have end caps, these standing up ones here, these end caps that plug into walls, but they also work just fine as freestanding columns. So I set those out, and I created several different sets of ruins. There's a set of ruins over here, and then a smaller set over here. And of course, some of the ruins are big ruins, some of the ruins are small ruins. So that's what I try to do, is mix it up a little bit. A set of ruins here with like some exotic floor stuff going on there with the rounded corners and stuff. And another set of ruins over here. Again, try to put some multi-tiered stuff in there. And last but not least, another set of ruins over here. And then I used the WizKids Warlock Caverns tiles. Just their standard Caverns tiles set, but I had them repainted so that they had like a mucky green and brown to them, kind of like a muddied up color. So they sit well on the battle mat, but they still stand out enough that they don't just blend in totally seamlessly. So it's more of a pronounced. You can see that it's there, and it creates some elevation, small amounts of elevation, and then take some of their other tiles from within their cavern set, like these guys here and these different ones here, and just paint them up in that mucky color so that it recreates the swamp-like effect, like you'll see in Nazmir. Because the shapes and everything are just fine. There's like little rocky shapes and stuff, areas of ground, and then area of above the swampy, waters, and then there's whole sections that are, basically just swamp that you're squishing through as you run around. And so this creates that effect just by repainting those. And then the last thing was from the cavern set, they also have bridges, wooden bridges to suspend along. Well, if you've played Nazmir, there's all these like bridges from the Troll Empire that go, broken in between the swamp areas where you follow along. And those are essentially what the roadways are in Nazmir, are these little wooden bridges that are, you see parts of it, and then parts of it go under the water into the swamp. They're not suspended above the swamp. They're just kind of like staked in the ground just above it. And then some areas have been fallen in or whatever, and that connects the various ruins that you go to for your quest hubs and stuff. So I just took the bridges and I didn't make any alterations to them whatsoever, and you just lay them across on the tiles across the battle map, and then hook them up to the upper areas of the tiles for the caverns, and you've got yourself a series of roadways that you can travel about through the map and get from one area to another. And in D&D terms, if you're not on one of the bridges or if you're not on one of the ruins, then you're in the swamp itself, and that's probably what's called difficult terrain, at least in 5th edition D&D. Difficult terrain where you don't move as fast, and you get some other penalties that go along with that. And then the last thing I did is I just took some HeroScape trees, which you can get off of eBay. They're not cheap. I gotta be the first to tell you that they're not cheap at all. But some HeroScape trees because they have the really good jungle effect to them, and also some HeroScape bushes. Here's a bunch of them here that I've got all lined up. And then I just kind of scattered those things about. Because in the swamp, it's not the jungle. It's all trees and stuff everywhere. But in the swamp, there's like spurts of growth here and there. So that's what I did, just to kind of scatter around and put some HeroScape trees and bushes about, and then also some aquarium plants. These just very simple, cheap aquarium plants. I just drop them down, set them in places so it looks like there's like little bits of foliage, spurting up from the swamp floor, as it were. And that just kind of finishes the whole thing. And then, of course, all you got to do is drop in the monsters. So over here, I just took the tentacles from WizKids. I'm trying to think of it. It's the Kraken. Couldn't think of it. The WizKids Kraken. I just took the tentacles rising up from out of the swamp itself. Could be one thing that it can attack. Then another one here. This is the WizKids. There's some kind of a swampy looking troll. So I thought he was perfect for going around in here. There's a nasty frog guy here, the behemoth or something like that, I think it's called, which is like a gigantic frog that's got these tentacles and stuff that reach out. So he's in there. Just because it's a nice nasty swamp, I figured there's a possibility there could be a Dracolich type dragon, so I went ahead and put one in that, stalking around through it. And then lastly, not from WizKids, I think this is from Schlieffen Toys or something like that. I can't remember, but it's just it's a T-Rex. So, and for scale purposes, I can just show you. There's one of the guys sitting on the second floor, and there's the T-Rex. But that's it. Pretty simple, straightforward. All I needed was to repaint the caverns tile set with some mucky swamp-like colors, and then use some half-height and full-height dungeon tiles mixed together so that it creates the effect of ruins, and then put the suspended bridges. I just, from the caverns tile set, laid them out in between, and you're good to go. So that's the idea behind it for the Worlds of Warcraft Nazmir Swamp. If you like the channel, guys, please like and subscribe and leave me comments below on what you think, and I will see you guys next adventure. Take care. Bye.